Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Good. So I just unmuted. I can hear somebody.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Pascal Jean, program specialist with at USDA NIFA. How's everybody doing?
We're all muted.
Oh, okay, perfect. I can hear you, so that's perfect. I just want to make sure that you guys are on for the Food and Agriculture Service Learning Program. Understanding there was a typo in the Community Food Project RFA. So if you are logged in for the Community Food Project RFA, you can hang up and call tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time for the Community Food Project. Today, we're going to discuss the Food and Agriculture Service Learning Program. All right. So for interest of time, we're going to get started. But I don't have it up for me to see it. Oh, there you go. All right, so we're gonna take question and answer from the chat room, so make sure you have it available. Again, welcome to the Food and Agriculture Service Learning Program webinar. My name is Pascal G. I'm the program specialist at USDA NIFA. Dr. Clary and I are the contact person. Dr. Clary is a national program leader. She had an emergency, was not able to make the call today, but we are both your contact if you have any questions regarding this RFA, especially regarding the program. All right, so what are the primary goals of the Food and Agriculture Service Learning Program, also known as FASLP? The goal is to increase capacity for food gardens and nutrition education within host organization entities, school cafeterias, and in a classroom. The goal is to complement and build on the effort of farm-to-school programs. The complements also effort by the Department of School and Food Authorities to implement the school lunch program. Additionally, we like to carry out activities that advance the nutritional health of children and nutrition education in elementary school and secondary school. Additional goal is to foster a higher level of communication engagement and support the expansion of national service volunteers opportunity in the community. The program under the Food and Agriculture Service program is called the Food and Agriculture Service Implementation Project. So that is the program code. So when you are applying, you should put FASIP as a program code. The preferred applicants, who are we looking for that should be applying? You want to make sure your organization and your partners have a proven track record in carrying out the purpose and the goals. The previous two slides went over the purpose and the goals. So make sure that your organization is able to prove that you have that experience. The organization needs to work in underserved, rural, and urban communities. Opportunity to teach and engage children in experiential learning about agriculture, gardening, nutrition, cooking, and where food comes from. And also to facilitate a connection between elementary school and secondary school, and also have agricultural producers in the local and region area. I got a couple questions regarding this, so we want to make sure that you are working with children, not just helping leadership, but also engaging with the children. Activities supported by this grant is the expanding of farm-to-school programs via lunch to bring local or regional products into the school breakfast program. Operating services projects such as AmeriCorps, Vista, Food Corps, local group programs similar to those that support farm-to-school. Readying producers to participate in the school food market, so make sure you have the partners in the community. Providing technical support in the form of face-to-face training, consultation, webinar, etc. Develop promotional campaign in support to farm to school, and also establishing new and strengthening existing community partnership. The award information. Although it says only new applicants may submit for the Food Agriculture Service Program, if you did apply last year and did not get it, make sure you review your application, respond to the question the reviewers comments, and then resubmit it. Even though it says new application, we are taking it. Unless you were totally told to go a different direction, make sure to look at it, respond to reviewers, and make sure to send it in. No single FASIP award shall exceed $225,000. Make sure to follow that, including indirect costs, and the project year is up to 2 years. And no cost extension may be requested during your final year, and implementation projects may be supported by only one grant under this program. I'll answer at the end. Mm-hmm. I'll answer questions at the end. I see a couple questions are coming in. Just want to make sure that I will address them at the end. Who's eligible to apply for this grant? Everybody. State Agriculture, Experimental Station, College and University, University Research Foundation, other research institution, organization, federal agencies, national laboratories, private organization, foundation, and corporation, individuals, or any two group consisting of two or more entities described in a paragraph in page 8. Make sure to review the RFA for this list. If you have any questions or feel that your organization is not represented here, feel free to send Jane and I an email. We'll make sure to let you know. How to submit application, the RFA on page 9 gives all the information that you need to have. Please make sure to read the RFA regarding the requirements. The Food and Agriculture Service Implementation Project, the program code is FASIP. Please do not put any number or anything like that. Please make sure to put FASIP as the program code. Funds made available for the grants under this subsection shall not be used for construction or any new building or facility, or their acquisition, expansion, remodeling, or alteration of any existing building or facility. If you guys remember, some of the goals and objectives really to do a nutrition education and farm to school and engaging the children, not building an infrastructure. Matching information. This is probably the newest thing and exciting thing in the 2019 RFA. There's no match requirement for this, and that's under the Agriculture Improvement Act of the 2018. Remove the matching requirement for some NIFA competitive grant, and FASLP is one of those. So FASLP has no matching requirement. So NIFA would not factor matching resources into review process as an evaluation criterion. So that should answer a lot of your question that you guys usually have regarding this. In summary, the slides from this webinar will be posted on the NIFA webinar website. I see a couple questions regarding that. Hopefully that will answer your question. So the slides will be available online, hopefully by the end of the week, as well as a recording of this. Please read the RFA carefully. Make sure that you have a DUNS and SAMS number registration. Usually that takes a couple weeks before, so make sure to check it now. Deadline is set. It is due on June 4th by 5 p.m. Eastern Time. No late application will be accepted. As a tip, do not wait to the last minute to try to submit. As you know, there's always computer glitches, there's always errors, so try to submit it before. It's easier for you to make update if you submit it before and make changes and do whatever you need to do, then because after the deadline, no changes or things can be done to the application. Application, keyword here, must be submitted in PDF format. Extremely important. Any other format, we will not be able to review it. Our system cannot read anything beyond PDF format. So please make sure that all your documents and attachment are converted to PDF and uploaded them. Make sure you can read it as well. Make sure you review before you hit submit. The awards, we anticipate that awards announcement will come out at the end of this fiscal year, our fiscal year, hopefully by September to October 2019, in a couple of months, so which is why the RFA is due so soon. So right now I'm gonna go to read question and see if you have any questions. And then I also have Susan Bowman from the finance group, AMD, and she'll ask any questions regarding matching, but I'm pretty sure you would not have any question because there's no matching requirement. Or indirect costs. If you have any question regarding indirect costs, we'll make sure to answer it. So one other question I see, do projects need to serve both underserved rural or urban community, or is it rural or urban? It is rural or urban acceptable, not all of them. Can we get a copy of the slides? As I mentioned, the slides and the webinar will be available on our website later on this week. Question repeated. Again, question about the slide. Will this grant support a time frame of 6 months to 1 year of program development or just implementation? It is up to 2 years. If you write your grant for 6 months to a year and get funded, it should be good, but you need to make sure that you have a well-written program. So you can have a year, but up to 2 years, can go beyond 2 years. So it's up to you how you write your grant, but make sure you don't exceed the total amount as well. State agency eligible to apply. I want to say no. I'm going to go back to the slide when it comes to the, who can apply. The one thing we know about state agency, I think you're great as a collaborator, not the main applicant. So make sure that maybe one of these individual is the main applicant, and as a state agency, you can collaborate with them. Would a nonprofit corporation be competitive applicant if they met all the experience calculation? Correct. Nonprofit does qualify for this as well, as long as you meet the applicant's requirements and have the experience and be able to meet the population, you should be able to apply. And you could clarify FASIP and FASLP. FASIP is a program code and FASLP is a program name. So this is the Food Agriculture Service Learning Program grant, and there's only one program code under it, FASIP. So when you are applying, it will ask you for program code. Please type in FASIP. And if you review the RFA, there's additional information about that in one of the pages regarding the program code. Once you start applying, you'll see that information. Is proven record related directly to these activities only, or is it related to serving targeted population? We're expanding our current service learning for youth, but we're new. Disenfranchised service will be eligible to apply. Proven record is to with the serving population. So doing nutrition work within the population. So when you write up your proposal, we want to make sure that you highlight all the work that you've done. So we want somebody that's not brand new in the field, but that has experience working with youth and expanding the farm to school and the collaboration. Why is there such a short timeline between the announcement and deadline? That was outside of our control. This is being recorded, so there's limited to one things I can say. As we know, the Farm Bill was really late in 2018. With the shutdown, we were not able to get the RFA out until when it came out. Yeah, and then plus this is a one-year program. It has to be out by the end of September 2019. Is there a formal definition for what constitutes an agricultural producer? Is in urban context, would a food bank that has a wide distribution of food constitute an agriculture producer for the meeting of RFA requirement? Kate, I would like for you to send me an email to elaborate more about this, because I'm not sure if a food bank will fall into that. Yeah, we'll have to follow up with Jane Clary. So Kate, if you hear this message, please send me a message, an email, and then I'll make sure to answer that for you. Yeah, I want to say no, but I want to confirm it first. Are there examples of business plan as recurses on page 13? Yes, if you do a search on NIFA, you should be able to see templates of some of the stuff, but actually your business plan should be able to follow what your goal is your objectives and kind of meet it. So make sure to look at page 13. And if you Google NIFA template, you should be able to find some of the example what we're looking for. What is the recommended earliest start date? The start date will be September 2019. September 1st, 2019. Will be, let me reread the question, I apologize. What is the recommended earliest start date for the project given the anticipated award announcement? It will be September 1st, 2019. Is there a limit on number of submission from one organization? No, you can submit, but we probably only award one, depending on the area of the zone. So you can go ahead and submit multiple applications. But being that this is such a short grant and we probably award 4 to 5 organization, make sure you submit the best one, because I'm not sure we'll be able to award multiple to one organization.
It usually tells them if they're limited.
Yeah. How many applicants are you expecting? What is the percentage that will be awarded? Just based on last year, this is only the second year. Last year we had maybe about 50 applications, so I'm anticipating double the amount this year. And being this is a little bit under $1 million, we can award 4 to 5 applicants only. And it's not one of our biggest programs, so we can't award everybody. Please clarify, no building construction, does that include creation of a school garden? No, does not include creation of a school garden. It's basically building a building. This is not used for construction bill. My question isn't about the total amount of funding period. I understand it's up to 2 years, but can we write a time frame for program development, needs assessment, curriculum development, or do we need to start with program implementation? Yeah, it depends on how your program is going. Make sure you're very clear in your write-up, and so that the reviewers and everybody can understand what you're doing. So it's really how you present it to us. But you want to make sure your budget, your everything is kind of lined up for the 2 years. So like that, the viewers and everybody understand what you have planned, what your program is planned for the 2 years that you're asking the money for. Next question. I am curious about the addition of leadership development component under purpose and priorities on page 4. Can you speak to that as it's new this year? I did not think anything was significantly new. I think one of the goals of the programs was mentioned is to make sure that the program has the capacity for food, garden, nutrition, education, and kind of has an ongoing program. The leadership skill, knowledge, and qualities are necessary to prepare the students for agriculture and related career in the private sector, government, and academia. So I think it's just part of your program to make sure that leadership, besides nutrition education, that leadership is also included as part of the programs. And I realized if you have additional question regarding that, please feel free to email me if you don't feel I answer your question. So proven record means with youth and with the nutrition activities, correct? With youth and nutrition activity. You want to make sure that you work with youth and provide nutrition activity. Do the project need to start on September 1st, 2019? Yes, they need to start at September 1st, 2019. That would be the start date.
That would be the
latest start date. If there's a delay in your start date for whatever reason, but that's the date that will be in your contract and award information. Any additional questions? I don't see any more questions. Can a school garden with a high tunnel cover be funded?
Yes.
Suzanne is saying yes.
Yeah. Like a hoop house.
Okay, a hoop house. It makes sense. Okay, thanks for clarifying. When you say later, we wanted to make sure you're working with children, would training teachers and delivering nutrition program acceptable? That's teachers. You will have to make sure that you collect the information that the teachers are evaluating. So even though you're working with the teachers, you will have to have that relationship and collect the information and get the information from the students and evaluate that. So our target is the youth. So even if you go that route, we want to make sure that you're not evaluating the teachers and their teaching skill, but really evaluating the students. No, there is no business plan and template and NIFA template page. Okay, I will get that to you. Send me an email. I try to see what we have available, but it's a typical business plan.
Can they look at the successful applicants from previous years?
Yeah, but it'll be just the abstract that's available. If you want, send me an email. I can send you the previous one, but we're just looking for a business plan. If you have a business plan based on your grant, all the information that tells us about who you are and what you offer will be great. Does this grant permit re-granting? No, this grant does not permit re-granting. What wording should be included in the letter of support? It depends on who you're working with. Is it from a school? Is it from a farm producer? So basically, if they are, there's no matching. So if they are participating or helping you or collaborating, so we want a strong letter from them, from your leader, especially your partners, basically stating they support this grant and willing to work. So usually with the matching, they would include the amount of dollars they're providing besides supporting. So in this case, just looking for your partners, your key evaluators, especially if they're universities or different entities that's different from your organization, send a letter in and kind of submit this and let us know they are part of this and support of this. The RFA says teaching application must demonstrably incorporate a leadership development component. What is meant by teaching application? Would there be a different type of application? Yeah, please email me, Michael, regarding this. Yeah, we need a little bit more clarification and I'll get that for you. Is there a preference for using funds for supporting personnel in the delivering program? I can honestly tell you with $225,000, you want to make sure that majority of your grant, the higher percentage, go to providing services than to administration. It just looks good because you don't want where it's 50-50 and you have other applicants that are 80-10 or 80-20, 80 for the program, 10 for the administration. They look better as for the reviewers than somebody that's really support administrative model. The webinar will be posted. So we will definitely have the information on the website. A lot of the questions are really on the RFA. So please make sure to review the RFA for any questions, or you can contact us. When we submit it, will we be able to change COPIAs or will we have to submit a new proposal? If you're resubmitting, you're able to change whatever you want. It's basically going to be treated as a new RFA because we'll have a new group of reviewers reviewing it. But make sure that you answer the previous reviewers' questions. Very important because we will be able to see the comments from last year. If awards are announced in October 2019, will the grant start date of September 1st shift? No, the start date will still remain the same. And it has to do with our fiscal year. Exactly. It has to do with our fiscal year. It has to be September 2019. All right. I don't see any more questions. So I'm assuming that I answered all your questions. Oh, somebody, can you please repeat your question? I have 1,001. There's no way I can. Jenny, I'm sorry, I missed your question. Can you please retype it? Because I have so many things that went back. What kind of reviewers? It's people that have similar programs and are in the community, expert in the field of food and agriculture services. If there are questions that you were answering individually based on getting emails, will you be posting Q&A on the page somehow so we'll benefit from the answers? I did answer that question. All the questions are on the RFA. Usually the emails that I get are more qualifying questions, not really private questions. If we do have an opportunity to put Q&A up, we will, but I can honestly tell you that with 3 RFA out, it may not be doable. Is there a list of last year awards available for this program? Yes. Parker Williams, please send me an email. I'll send you the link for the to the Chris. But if you Google NIFA FASLP 2018 awardee, should be up. But if not, send Pascal Jean an email and I'll send you the link. Is there no business plan currently? Could we be added to the template page? That's not something we're able to facilitate at this time. Again, it's closer to the end of the fiscal year. Please use any business plan that's out there. There's nothing specific for the government that's required. We just like to see what kind of organization is available just to make sure that the best applicants are picked. Will funds cover guest speakers, fees, and children programming? Local food producer and nursery owners.
It would depend on how it fits with their program.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard Susan, but it depends if it fits with your program. And make sure that a lot of the funds is not going to administrative stuff. That would be considered that. So if it fits your program and is part of it, that's good, but make sure it's not the majority of the work, because if you go back to the program about the purpose of the goals, you should see what it is. My email is my first name, pascale.jean@nifa.usda.gov. I will put the slide up with the contact information right here. I'm Pascal Jean, the second one, so you should be able to see it.
And just let them know that they're putting their budget together and have questions about indirect costs or anything, to contact David or myself.
Exactly. So as Susan said, not sure if you already heard her, with program questions, the ones I told you to email me, please email me and Dr. Clary Lovelace. If you have any financial question, indirect costs, anything like that, Susan Bowman, Adrian Wooden are your contact information. You can always contact us, but we'll always send it to them because they're the expert. If you are paying a teacher to teach nutrition education, are you consider that administrative or programming costs? It's program cost. Yeah, because they are part of your program. They don't work for your organization. I see more question about business plan about organization, like organizational chart. No, we're not asking about organizational chart. Organizational chart is part of a business plan. So make sure you look at example of organization plan, which includes a budget, organization chart, who you are, your experience, and things like that. The due date is June 4th, 2019. The program that's due on June 3rd is CFP, Community Food Project, is due on June 3rd. FASLP is due on June 4th.
So can you all hear me? If you're a new grantee and you've never done business with NIFA before, you will be asked to provide management information on your organization. You'll be asked to provide financial information and a history of your accounting system and things like that. So once your award is recommended and it comes down to the awards management division, we will send out a letter and request that information.
Hope you guys heard that. All right, any more questions? Community Food Project is due on June 3rd. This program, FASLP Food and Agriculture Service Learning Plan, is due on June 4th by 5 p.m. You stated that most of the funds should not be used for administrative duty. Is that correct? Correct. Administrative duties, if you are doing your budget, most of your funds should not be administrative duty, should be part of the program. Is the indirect cost included when trying to figure this out?
So indirect cost is considered your overhead. And when you're talking about administrative, I think Pascal is referring to like the project director that's going to look over the program. We don't want them to claim a huge salary. We want them to be able to kind of give their time. Indirect costs would not be considered as far as the administrative when you're considering key personnel that's going to be looking over the grant and running the grant. Two separate costs.
Great questions. All right, I don't see any more questions. Well, thank you. I'm gonna see if we have any more questions. Is there a certain percentage you would like to see for admission costs? There's no guidance, but I can tell you you want your higher percentage to go towards your program. And there's no key goal when it comes to administrative costs. You just want to make sure, as Susan iterated, most of your costs is not going to somebody's salary or contractors. You want to make sure that it's implementing the program. Can you talk about the level of community resident impact you want to see in a CFP project? This is CFP call is tomorrow. That would be a good question tomorrow at 2 o'clock. This is for the Food and Agriculture Service Learning Plan. I know there was a typo in the RFA, so I apologize. So if you are, Anahid, if you are asking about CFP, we will address that tomorrow. Sorry about that. All right, so seeing that I don't see any more questions, thank you for your time. Hope you found this helpful. Again, our contact information, I'm posted it up again. If you have any questions or any follow-up or any clarification, especially those of you that I said to email me, please go ahead and email me and I'll make sure to get you the answer as soon as possible. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of the week.